Welcome to BallXPit, or BallXPit, Ball CrossPit, whatever. Have you ever played the good old Brick Breaker game? Have you ever thought that Brick Breaker was a little too lame? What if we gave the bricks an angry face, a banger soundtrack, and the ability to hit back? What if we also gave the balls more eyeball melting, eardrum busting, enemy destroying effects? What if, to top it all, we also have a side game of town pinball management? If you have ever thought of this, thanks for watching the video, BallXPit developers. But in case you aren't a developer, then think no longer, cause this game answers those questions. Let's start with the story. Pretty simple. A rock falls from outer space and crashes our city of Babylon, and all that is left is a huge crater. So naturally, the survivors decided to build a huge elevator to explore the pit. Gameplay is also pretty simple. There's enemies that want you dead, and they will try to accomplish that by slowly walking towards the bottom of the screen, at which point they will take offense of your presence and launch at you. Or, let your presence known by getting close to them a bit and they will attack you immediately. How do we avoid that? Shooting balls at them. There are two kinds of balls, specials and baby balls. Baby balls, for the most part, have no effect and are just a little white damaging spot on the screen. But special balls have their name earned. Special balls can go from stabbing the enemy and make them bleed, set them on fire, poison them, have lasers on hit, a fucking earthquake, a goddamn nuke. So, how do we play with our balls, you ask? WASD to move, the mouse to aim, and left click to shoot. If you need further explanation, I literally don't know how to. Oh, and pressing F toggles auto fire on and off. Now, let's continue to mechanics. Now that we know how to play, you're probably wondering, how do I play with ball better? To which I answer, hell, I was getting to that, man. You start a run by picking a character, a level, and then go nuts. When you kill enemies, they drop experience, and by collecting them, you get a level up. These level ups offer options that go from items, which are passive with a multitude of effects, new balls to fill up your empty weapon slots, or leveling up a ball or item that you already have, up to a maximum of level 3. Every run is at first 15 minutes, but can be made faster the more you beat the same level, and you can always see your progress on the right bar, with each third of the bar spawning a mini boss that you must kill or die to. These mini bosses and some enemies will drop these two balls rotating on each other. Picking it up opens a different menu, but more of that later. Right now, characters. Characters have stat, and each stat have a scaling indicated by the letter besides it, that you can check on the stat menu. These stats are endurance, which check how many hits you can take before hitting the ground in itself. Strength, which upgrades the base damage of your balls. Leadership, which controls the amount of baby balls and the damage they do. Speed, which dictates how fast both you and the balls move, so you can juggle and avoid an enemy that's basically static. Oh, and the projectiles, I guess. Dexterity, which has the useless stat of crit rate, as by the time you can make this count, you already beat the base game anyway. And fire rate, which allows you to go from shooting at the speed of a bow and arrow to basically become a Gatling gun. And lastly, intelligence, which is for nerds that like things like killing the enemies with the statuses, like poison or bleed. It also affects item passives, or the chat version of intelligence, area of effect strength, for you fellow earthquake enjoyers. These stats change their baseline from character to character, but all of them can be upgraded both on scaling and number later in the town. Characters also have their own starting ball, and I gave it to their own, except the warrior who gets the most basic bitch experience to ease you into the game. And since the character gimmicks can vary from minor to this is now a different goddamn game, I'll talk about some of my favorites now. Are you a trickshot enthusiast? Do you like aiming somewhere random only for the ball to bounce in a weird way and come back and hitting the enemy and seem cool doing it? Do you like wondering why your balls are taking forever to come back to you and that one enemy you missed the trickshot on is now scarily approaching you and you have nothing to kill it with? Then play the Repentant, whose gimmick is that every time a ball bounces on a wall they stack extra 5% damage, with the downside that once they hit the back part of the screen, they return to you immediately, hitting enemies in the way, instead of just staying in the back, hitting them forever as if you hacked a pinball machine. Are you tired of hitting an enemy and the ball bouncing back not doing anything else with its life so you must catch it, reload, and then throw it again almost immediately? Do you actually want to do some cool trick shots this time and not look like a poser? Did you like the idea of your balls hitting the backboard of the enemies after penetrating them? What the fuck was that chain of words, man? Try the embedded, whose ability allows the balls to penetrate the enemy instead of just bouncing on them until they've hit a wall. By then, they just hurt normally. Do you have decision paralysis? The game has too many cool options to choose from, or maybe you are too lazy to think? Are you under the impression that you aren't paid to think, but to destroy brick with ball and nothing else? Well, pick the cogitator, and he will automatically choose the upgrades for you. Have fun turning your brain off and shooting enemies and see the colors go pop. Are you watching this gameplay and thinking, it sure is a nice version of Brick Breaker made a roguelike, but I kind of enjoyed moving a little bar and make the bus bounce around better? Do you wish for you to not just be able to do that, but also be rewarded for doing it? Pick the shield bearer and do your best little bar impression, while also getting 100% extra damage for each bounce on that shield that you can manage. Go wild, King. Are you perhaps thinking, he mentioned something about balls being an earthquake or nukes? That sounded powerful. And feel like they could be even more powerful? Are you the kind of person to enjoy rolling a rock up a hill only for you to sleep and have to start over? Can you imagine yourself happy doing it? Then play the makeshift Sisyphus. Your direct hits no longer do damage, but your AoE strength and statuses are multiplied by 4. Also no baby balls, only big balls on Sisyphus house. Did you miss like a minute ago where I was talking about turning your brain off for a bit with the cogitator and have the idea that, hey, maybe I can look for a way to move the character automatically and make this gameplay like a gacha game's finest gameplay loop? Well, look no further than the Radical, who does both the upgrade choices and the gameplay for you, so you can fully make this game play itself and get an impressive overview of how a game journalist will play this game. And lastly, do you feel the pressure of time too high? The enemies slowly creeping in too tense? Would you enjoy doing math formula calculations to optimize the shot at every possible frame? Look no further than the Tactician. And now the game is turn-based, which means that you shoot, see the results of your shot until the balls are no longer on screen, and then the enemies get to move a bit, and we repeat the process. Congrats, now this game is a JRPG, except it was made by someone from Brooklyn, so it's a RPG. The rest of the characters also have fun gimmicks, but you'll have to discover them by playing the game yourself or watching someone else play it. Now, let's talk about balls. They come in a lot of different colors and effects, but that's not the only thing that they can offer. Random level ups of the things that you haven't fully leveled, but if you happen to have 2 max level balls, you'll have the option of fusing them, mixing their effects in a very direct manner and opening a slot for another ball to join the team, upping your firepower. But that's not all. If you manage to level up specific balls together, instead of a normal fusion, you get an evolution, which still combines both balls, but instead of just merging their effect, they get an extra, cooler way of doing it. For example, you can grab metal and fire and evolve it into a bomb, making the ball hit for high damage, but also on an AoE around it. You can mix a vertical or horizontal laser with a freeze ball, making the freeze ray that does damage with the laser on hit and also have a 10% chance of freezing the enemies for 10 seconds. You can mix a vertical or horizontal laser with lightning bolt shape and fulfill the childhood dream of aiming a red pointer laser at someone's eyes and blinding them. You can mix the fucking sun with darkness and make a black hole, see that it kills the first enemy that it touches and then die to a basic horde cause it only hits once in its base form and also takes 7 seconds to come back. So you have borderline thrown the run out of the window. You can even mix, and this might be crazy for some, the horizontal laser with the vertical laser to make the holy laser that does both laser at the same time. It's fucking great. These evolutions are the way to be really strong cause not only are they extra powerful, they can also level up, which also opens the can of worms that since the evolution counts as its own entity ball, can be further be fused with another normal or evolved ball to do stuff like Holy Laser mixed with Fireball to make both lasers apply burn and other effects with other balls. There are some special evolutions that also go after another evolution, or even evolutions that require 3 balls at the same time. As a tip, grab metal, fire and poison, evolve metal and fire to make bomb, then evolve bomb and poison to make the nuke. Congrats, now your explosion is basically screen wide and also radiate the enemies, taking more damage as the radiation stack the cancerous cells on them, and then fuse it with a bleed ball to make them bleed out of the radiation for extra evil guy mentality. There are many evolutions to discover, like my favorite, Overgrowth, that stacks a debuff on hit on an enemy, and if you stack it 3 times, a 3x3 damage explosion happens, wiping basically anything around the main target, and then just mix it with effects like the laser or AoE hits, so you can either stack it in a global manner or multiple times so it activates faster, making an endless loop that wipes the whole set of enemies. Very fun. To progress in the game, you get blueprints in each zone, when killing bosses or mini-bosses, that you can then take to the surface and build them. These buildings will give you very minor effects, like unlocking a new character, getting better scaling on your stats, even making your bosses start at level 3. Which brings the next point, the town. The town is how you basically unlock everything and get stronger to make the next run easier. It's a great base town manager with pinball mechanics, as you can put forest, rocks, fields, buildings that need to be finished, or buildings with effects, and once every run, at least on the beginning, you can send your characters to bounce around like lunatics for a time, and whatever they touch they will harvest, build, or proc. To unlock more levels, you have to beat a level with different characters, as each can offer 1 cog per level, so you have to diversify your playstyle a bit to progress. And if you think that's a little lame, let me make a little revelation on that idea, and tell you that everything I've said about the characters earlier can be mixed, as there is a building that lets you pick 2 characters at the same time, so you get 2 clears per run, and you can progress twice as fast, and yes, their gimmick is stack, and most of them are compatible with each other. So, that's BallXPit. Honestly, an extremely fun game. It has a superb soundtrack, the bosses are different and enjoyable, the art style is delightful, the controls simple and easy to get the hang of, the characters on their own have really good gameplay, there's a bit of charm in a lot of places. My only critique is that some of the items are downright useless in 99% of the situations, unless you go for some extreme, dedicated build. So I would like a building or two that allow you to pre-eliminate some items or balls before going into a run. There's ways of doing this, like vanishes and rerolls, but rerolls use gold, which is a scarce resource at first, so it's not like this quality of life is non-existent, it's just that it's not enough for me. I also kind of understand that this is part of the difficulty at the beginning, because if you get the ability to get the most broken combinations easily, you will beast through the early game, but maybe unlocking this as a new game plus or at the very end would have been very welcome. I was also gonna mention some funny bugs on release that disrupted the game a bit, but the devs have since fixed the game, and they have said that they were gonna work on more content, so I just wanted to give extra credit to the devs for fixing the game. I keep loving it. So, to end the review, I give this game a solid 9 out of 10, as seen in the thumbnail. Honestly, I just need more, can't have enough. Thank you for watching, I hope you're having a good one. More reviews to come, so why not just subscribe and stick around. If you have any feedback, leave a comment, and if you enjoyed the video, thank you, and see you next time.